not streamed on YouTube before. I'm going to go look at my channel to see if it's showing it. How do I check if I'm streaming? Live streaming. Oh, here we go. Oh, awesome. Sync to preview player. Let's do this on my laptop instead. Sign with a different account. Come on, it is okay. View on watch page. Well, I don't want comments disabled. How do I... Oh, there's chat right here. Well, this is pretty fancy. Cool. So if I just copy that. Twitter. Come on, Cortana. Open Twitter. Open Twitter. Did you get that, Cortana? Certainly hope you did. Oh, I have people watching now. Look at that. I should probably get to work. I just tweeted it, so don't mind my delay. So, this is Terminal Island. If you're watching this right now, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'll try to check with the chat as much as I reasonably can. Right now, because we haven't gotten the next update, I don't think yet. We're pretty limited on our prop count, so I'm just going to be working on a lot of code, though I am going to start working on the boss fight out in this section here shortly. How many objects do I have at the moment? No, I just start working on the final boss fight anyways. Let me work on some terraforming. I want this to be all flat. Oh, wrong button. Plateau. There we go. Nope, actually we want tunnel. There we go. Tunnel makes everything nice and flat. So this boss fight is going to be pretty strange. He's going to be stationary because I don't feel like I've got the space to have the boss to move around. And I'm not going to be fighting a creature so much as just a very intelligent robot that's doing everything it can to kill you. Because of that, he's going to have a number of different phases. He's going to have a healing system. He's going to have an energy shield system. He's going to be pretty complex. So, yeah, and he's going to be on this island, which you can't get to until late in the game because the water is extremely toxic and you die really, really fast. It's watching now, but I don't know if that's me or not because I have it open on my laptop. We're going to operate in the assumption that it's someone else watching. Okay, so here's our island. Let's tweak the shape a little bit so that it doesn't look quite as bad. So we're going to add right there. Alright, and I need kind of a safe house type area on this island that you can hide in and use this teleporter to get around. Oh, wrong one. I need to grab the sign. That's what moves it around. Tape to there. Okay. I'm gonna go rummage through his brain and see if I can fix a few things. Unless they're already fixed, which... they're not too important. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to build a little bunker area right around the teleporter so people are fairly safe before they have to fight the big bad ugly boss. Everything snaps to that alignment. That's interesting. Okay, well, we're not going to be working with snap then. Let's scale this up and then kind of bury it in the ground. Edit the colors because I'm going with a white color scheme. Orange, let's just make the orange gray. I guess there's more orange. There we go. Now, does anything happen when I power this thing on? Something happens. Let me get that above ground. Oh, these little panels fold down. That's pretty cool, I have to admit. Let's see what other... I haven't actually played with the bunker pack at all. Maybe one of these has a cool little something that I could use. Power on. Oh! That one actually has like a wall that folds down. We're going to use this one. Somewhere important. For now, this one's going to be protecting our players who just teleported in. Might want to put it a little bit farther out. Put this here. Okay. Alright, so this is where we teleport into, or where you can swim to if you've unlocked a strong enough shield. And then on this island itself is where the boss is going to be. So the boss is going to be comprised of like 3 main steps. This I don't think anyone's watching the stream. I'll continue with it though. It's going to be composed of 3 main steps. So the steps are, first, it's going to be pretty much invulnerable until you break these energy pillar things. You can't break the pillars. They're too strong for you. You have to have a missile that it fires guide into its own pillars. So we're going to need to build like the core of the machine over here, and then build the energy pillars like over here. So let's get to work on the core of it. This is definitely going to be the faceplate of it. And over here I'm going to be using snap just because it's going to be big enough. Yeah, I kind of built an oddly shaped island for snap. 45-degree angle? That could work. We'll go with that. Okay, so this is going to be like the face of it. And when things are... The core of it is going to be behind that wall. So you're going to have to do steps to get that wall to open up. Then you'll have a limited amount of time to shoot at the core. And then we'll go from there. Once again, we're going to make this white. So let's make this side gray. Make all the orange, white. And there we go. Okay. That's step 1. Let's add a couple of more of these to it to give it some more bulk. This bunker pack is pretty cool, not gonna lie. Okay. That looks pretty good. And let's see, does it look pretty good? That looks pretty good. We're gonna place that. And then let's I want some taller things kind of in the background. I'll finish fleshing out the back end of this to make it look like a full building later, but recolor this. Can do the same for this one too. Right, yeah, right there. And time to recolor it as well. Now we're gonna make that one a little bit gray. That. That's interesting that those lines aren't lining up. I might have to scooch it around a bit. There, and then this one white. Huh. Place it right there. Okay. Alright, so this is starting to look better. Okay, so... Alright, so we'll put the main energy core, like, right back here, and I'll have to figure out what problem I'm using for that. Let's just search Astro and see if I can find one that I like. This backpack may not be bad. Let's scale it up and see how it looks. Now, if I had this back with that here, that could work. You're standing right here, and the gate opens. You'd have to hit up that core. Okay. That could definitely work. Now let's throw some flooring down. And I'm going to make this as big as I reasonably can because I don't want to use too many of these props. Color it so that there's no orange. Rotate this way maybe. And then drop it so it's barely outside the ground. There. That. That. Looking good. Probably have to scale this down a fuzz. I'm actually going to angle this one. I don't usually angle floor pieces, but I feel it's necessary for some reason. There. There's a good chance I'll change that later. Nothing I do here is set in stone. Okay, I need to put some sort of plate there so that you can't see the cord. Let's do bunker again. Oof. Yeah, that'll work. That, and then that. Then put it there. Okay, looks good enough for now. Okay, so overall, despite how rather massive this structure is, it's not using that many props, which is the goal here. We can't be using that many props. So then let's make sure that this is all still clean and obvious. Did I select the wrong piece? Brain, power on. There we go. Okay, so it's a pretty small gap, I'm not going to lie. Probably need to move my core over. It doesn't look like it's quite centered. Is that centered? There we go. That's centered. Let's recolor this so it's a little more obvious. Let's put that white. And let's make this red. Because when do you not shoot at the red thing? You always shoot at the red thing. And let's throw a light on it. Make it pulsing. Going to make it a wave pulse. I'm going to make it a bright red wave pulse. Turn the intensity up a fuzz, because when you color a light, it becomes less intense. At least that's what it seems like. There we go. Now it looks obvious. So when you look through it, you see a big glowing red core. Now the time to fill in the rest of the building. I'm using a lot of these props because they're easy to use. Oh, I do have snap-on. Scale it up. Right there. That looks actually pretty decent. If I shift it just right there, though, and right there, then I don't have to deal with the flooring. Put that there. Oh, it looks like someone else is watching. Hello, person. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm working on my final boss fight right now. It's a little bit unusual because you're going to be fighting a building, sort of, instead of an actual person. But this is going to make it a lot more large-scale combat, I think. We'll see how it goes. This is just what I've been playing around with in my head for the past few weeks. I want to fill in that top gap somehow. Undo. I'm guessing it's going to do something cool when I play with the power. Absolutely it does something cool. Alright, I need to find a place to put this because this is too cool. I don't know where to put it though. I guess I'm probably just going to delete this half and find a place for it. Rotate to here. Scale it up. Because once we break the core... Oh, hang on. Give me just... Get the comments. I'm going to chat really bad. So, chatted pretty much saying if anyone had any questions or wanted to see something in particular, just ask. Alright. So I'm going to put that door there. And this is what you're going to need after you break this core to get inside and, I don't know, do something with it. I haven't gotten that far. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's also move it here so that it's more of a clear shot right to the core. Oh yeah, in the comments referencing Corey. Yeah, I always bought the things that I wanted. I bought day of. I don't have everything. Like if we were to take a look at a few of my props here, like I didn't buy the owl. I didn't buy the troll, the woodland druid, or the things I didn't buy as well. It's stuff that I would buy as soon as I needed it. I just never needed it. Simple as that. Alright, so let's grab like this wall, fit it in over here. I'm going to start working on programming some autonomous sentries here soon that can be thrown like grenades and then deployed. Okay, I'm going to try stacking this. See if I can get that to look good. The answer is no, that doesn't look good at all. Alright, let's get back to the bunker props. Yes, the update does come today. It hasn't come out yet. Follow the Project Spark Twitter. They yeah, I haven't got in a second. Let me look back at bunker props. The bunker half roof. This will have to work. Okay, right. I have a thing for symmetry, but I also know that everything won't always be perfect. Okay, we'll go with that. Recolor it really quickly, and then I'll go check to see if I have the update. And yes, I am on Xbox. I'm not on PC. I do have a PC, and I play a lot of Project Spark on PC. I just am not currently, because Xbox simply has more juice. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I need to fill in, let's see, were there were, yep, these gaps over here I need to work on filling in. In case you weren't here earlier, the goal of this whole building is that you're going to have to do a number of steps to get this door here to open, because if I turn the power off, that closes, turn it on, it opens up. And while it's open, you have to shoot up this core in here. But to get this door open, you're going to have to go through a few steps, and the first of which is you're going to have to break some shield generator pillars, because while the shield generator is live, you won't be able to, damage the thing. So you're going to have to break that using rockets that it's actually shooting out of the top. So that's the general idea here. This thing's looking really cool, though, so far. I like the aesthetic look of it. I guess if you had a really powerful PC, then I guess Project Spark would be better on PC than Xbox. I have a PC, it's not a legendary one. I have a laptop, 8 gig of RAM, i5 core, terabyte hard drive, stuff like that. And actually, it does not run as well on PC as it on Xbox, even though it has almost exactly the same specs, which is interesting. So that's why I prefer it on Xbox One. I can play it smoothly on PC, I just have to turn all my settings all the way down. And, I don't like doing that. So let's move this piece over here. Gonna have to copy that floor piece and move it. Man, that's a lot more floor than I need, though. I'm gonna cheat and bury this piece a little bit. Yes, Buckley183. I'm going to have sentries outside fighting you that the building is going to be deploying on you. So you're going to have to deal with sentries, and that's probably the main thing you're going to have to deal with. I also have some humanoid robots it's going to be sending out too. So it's definitely not going to be an easy fight. Thus, final boss fight. Last step you need to get the pieces to get off Terminal Island. I'm not super happy with that particular floor piece, but I'll deal with it later. Let's copy and move this ceiling piece around. This is actually a very nice looking pack, to be honest. Okay. There's a couple more of these walls to fill it in. There. Man, I don't like putting pieces inside of each other, but I kind of have to right here. And then just go there, rotate it, and then put this one here. That should work. It's pretty much enclosed at this point. Put the ceiling around. So it looks good. This is a nice looking ceiling. Give me just a second to finish up the ceiling, and then I'll go check to see if I have the update yet. If I do, then I'm going to update, and I don't know what I'll do with the stream at that point, but it'll happen. Okay, so it's pretty much enclosed. It's enclosed as much as I care to work on it right now, and it looks pretty cool. It's not symmetrical, but I think it looks pretty decent as is. What do you guys think at this point? Alright, so let me save this really quick. Saving. And man, does the save take forever. They would get to it soon. But it out to some people, not every hopefully it'll be rolled out to check to see if I have an update available. So let's go to... What? No, not manage game. I think this is what? Game hub. And then I could... view and store. It doesn't look like it yet. I could try killing the game and reopening it though. Let's quit. Give it a second. While we're waiting, Dishonored, I just bought this like 2 days ago. This game's freaking awesome. I don't know if you guys have played Dishonored or not, but if you haven't and you know you're the right age for it, that game is awesome. It's a good stealth game. One of the things I'm looking forward to Project Spark update is I'm hoping that it looks faster. At the moment, Project Spark pretty quickly, but sent packs back, and I've seriously skip. Doesn't seem like there's an update available. Trouble with it, mine always looks like a boring little flat. Something that you really need to just put a lot of time into more than anything else, and you need to make it look... Well, first you need to establish what you're doing with your map, because there's more than just making a map for the sake of having an area to play your game in. You also... there's a couple of things I want to go back over again. But I know my island right here looks flat, but I think it's just going to stay flat. So when you spawn in the game, you spawn in right here at that particular block. And I wanted it so that these hills kind of pushed you to follow the paths. All the paths are nice and flat with, you know, some little exceptions. And then all the hills are kind of like deterring you from leaving the path in a really nice, subtle way. But you just need to, obviously, if you're using the terrain tools, you need to use those. But you want to make a lot of hills, and then you want to start working with the land and just kind of thinking about what would be going on here. What in this world do you think would make sense? So like here, I cut a tunnel in the wall, or in this hill. So I put up supports here. There's like an overhang, so there's supports. And there's this really tall thing here with more supports. And I kind of put this mini ridge up with a fence over it to keep players in this first area. This is like the tutorial area. So it's hard to... There's no one way to make nice looking terrain, but you need to go over every inch of your terrain and know why you're sculpting it the way that you are. You don't want to just sculpt terrain for the sake of it, but you want to sculpt it with reason. When you say new limits, do you mean like... Talking to Nick again in the comments. Do you mean like the terrain limit or the prop limit? I'm assuming that that'll all go into effect so that your world that was at max terrain limit now has some more terrain to work with. That's how it was when I bought the Massive World Builder Pack. I assume it'll be the same here. So I'm actually not at terrain capacity. I mean, I do have a lot of terrain, as you can see, but I'm more limited by my prop count than terrain, so I don't want to add anything else. And if you notice, I have these little logic cubes scattered everywhere. And each one of these logic cubes is a resource, so the more terrain I add, the more props I have to add to keep the world populated. So I'm not at terrain limit, but yeah, you definitely could make an absolutely massive world. Like seriously, Project Spark worlds are gonna get freaking huge after this update. So I'm going to get back to building my boss fight. Man, that thing's huge. You can see it from a long ways out. I don't know if I quite meant to build it that big, but we'll go with it. Man, this thing's going to be like the size of my colony. So this is the boss fight. This is the final boss fight. And if you're asking, are we fighting a building? The answer is yes, we are fighting a building. The goal here is we're going to be attacking this core right here. This red core is going to be able to take damage as a way to defeat the boss. You're going to have to do steps to get this door to open up to allow you to attack it. So we have our building built. We have our doors and our stuff in place so we can do that. And now comes the fun part. We're going to start building the code and the other things that are going to be necessary to kill this thing. So we're going to have at least two big like towers or columns or energy somethings or others that generate a shield for this. So let's build those. Astro. I've always liked these. These things always have looked cool to me. So we're going to recolor it because I don't like orange. I've been going with a white color scheme. And because I want these things to be big, we're going to make them turn on snap. There. Like that. And let's glue them together just so that we have one prop to work with instead of 4. There, glued together. One big prop. We're going to put one about here. Yeah, that looks good. Make it pretty tall so it's very noticeable. I might remove that top half if necessary. And then we're going to put one over here, kind of symmetrical to it. And I'm going to attach the top half to the bottom half. There. Now I would have to work on the brain of my boss. So, give me a second to take a look at the comments. So, CRVZH, I don't know how to say your name, dude, asks, Saris, does scaling a character interfere with collision physics? And if it does, is it possible to fix it? So as in, if you were to take a character model and place it in the world, does it interfere with collision physics? I have seen any prop, if you scale it up or down enough, it starts to get a little bit wonky with the collision physics. But nothing significant. Are you seeing a... Oh, Crazy Bird. That's how you say it. Cool. That doesn't look like Crazy Bird. Anyways. Is there a specific example that you're working with? I know that one big issue that I've seen is that if you attach a prop to a character and you don't make that prop non-collidable, you'll get all sorts of fun issues. I was running into that earlier with my characters. But, is there like a specific example that you have? Because then I could maybe think about it some more. But let's start working on my boss brain. And we're going to use a logic cube to make this happen. And we're going to make this logic cube massive so that I can see it from a ways out. Put it right here. Let's recolor it. And we're going to make it all red because our boss is red. 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 And then let's make this white. Just there. So there's our logic cube for our boss fight. Let's also name it. Final boss brain. Okay. So, the first step is I'm going to have a Boolean variable that has to be activated before you can fight this boss. Before then, if you manage to get to the island... Let me show an example of this really quickly. I don't go through like the clothing steps to equip any weapons or anything on my players. So like if we go into clothing, do you see here how I could pick him to have a fighter's shield and I could pick him to have an ancient Codian mace? Like that. I don't prefer doing it this way because I sometimes see some really strange wonky collision issues when I do it this way. So I always go into the code and equip that way. So I would go in here and, like, yeah, it says once, equip pickaxe. Stuff like that. That's what I personally do. That's what some other people do. Hopefully that fixes your problem. So we go global, and we're gonna make a Boolean variable called, let's call it final boss. Simple as that. When it is equal to true, we're going to I'm at the wrong set here. Switch page, next page. And because I don't want to have to beat the whole game to do this, we're going to forcibly activate it. So once global boss, final boss is equal to true. Now on this page, we have to figure out if the final boss cares about you. So actually, I'm probably going to place this logic cube about here, actually on the ground, so that it can operate as my detection radius. So, second page, we're going to do when, let's see, when objects closer than, let's do 100. Make this some serious range. Objects closer to 100, and we're going to identify it as our player. Then we're just going to make use an object variable called, let's do my enemy equals it. If you guys have any other questions, stream. Let's just make sure that if the player is outside of 100, it starts ignoring them. So farther than 100, then my enemy is equal to nothing. There we go. Now comes the fun, going to be assigning a team to the boss. At least I don't think that's probably the best way to go about this, because there's not going to be a player that's going to be chasing you around in the boss. It's just going to be trying to. We're going to have 3 phases. Let's see. Let's make a variable called when boss phase is equal to 0. I'm going to call page 3. And we're going to copy this a couple more times. So when boss phase equals 1, and then when boss phase equals 2, this will be calling pages 4 and 5. There we go. So we also have to dictate what causes these phases to happen. Obviously, boss phase equals 0. This means this is the default phase. So this is the phase when there's going to be an energy shield active. And you won't be able to damage the I think that's how it's going to work. Maybe it won't be energy shield. Maybe you just need to take off these 2 colors, and then the door will open, and it'll have to like emergency power or some crap. I don't know. We should probably also have a health bar in place. So display. Here's the fun part. Now I have to think. I'm for this, and I'm actually going to borrow a lot of assets from my player so that I can extend past a 1,000 limit for my health. Weapon wheel. Oh, that's the weapon wheel. Execute. Don't need that page. Here we go. Okay, so this is my shield brain to make my energy shield work. Let's see if I can copy this whole page. I'm so close to being able to copy the whole page. Let's see exactly what do I need to be able to copy this. I just may need to rebuild this, but let me grab the main. That's the bit that makes it work. Yeah, the come out today, Mystic Storm. Come out for everyone just yet. I am anxiously awaiting it, but haven't gotten it just yet. You know, I'm just going to rebuild the health system so that I can make it just the way I want. It's not too hard to make anyways. I did a tutorial on this health system with a energy shield a while back, so if you're curious as to what I'm doing, you can go check that out. Alright, so health system. Where do we start? So let's see. Let's start it to. Let's make this thing invulnerable first off, so that it can't die right away. It's combat properties, isn't it? Invulnerable equals true. Then let's do when we're going to have this core back here. The core hit by attack. Combat events. Hit by attack. Actually, we need to copy and paste this so that my core is also invulnerable. And core is hit by attack. Let's see. Man, I'm trying to think exactly how I did this. This was a while ago that I built this, so I have to mentally think through exactly what I did. You know what? I'm not going to worry about this for now, because I could spend a very long time banging my head on this if it doesn't work. And there's some other things that we can work on too, like let's work on building my sentries. The sentries are going to have to be able to be deployed by projectile, so when the projectile hits something, then the sentry is going to be deployed. So first, let's make the projectile. So I'm probably going to go with a grenade. And these Astro Marine grenades look perfect. If a little small, we're gonna scale these things up. Okay, it's about 250%. That's looking better. And the brain of these, yep, all gone. We're going to delete all of that. Next, we're going to build the actual sentry. And these are always fun to build. So, I'm just going to search metal, because I want to build this thing out of metal. And let's find some good pieces of metal. Actually, I'm going to see, let's see, how small will these things scale to? Perfect. I'm going to use these things. These are still some of my favorite props, and I'm going to throw out a player model so I have something to scale with. Okay. So I'm going to make this sentry have 3 legs, if possible. Tilt it like this. That's too far. And we'll work with it. That. Make it white. Nick, the reason I couldn't copy it is because it had a max limit as to how much content I could copy once, and copying the brain, that one page exceeded that. I'm a little bit overambitious with my brains. I have some seriously huge brains, so sometimes I can't copy them. Put a piece there. Rotate it like that. Actually, let's rotate it like that, and then so I can have 3 legs instead of 4, because I don't know why 3 legs just looks better on sentries. There we go. So there's the legs for our sentries. And okay. Next, let's add a gear. Gears are always good, even if they are absolutely freaking massive. Okay, let me check the comments really quickly. All right, Crazy Bird asks, Saris, if I want to change the default attack of the archer, which is a straight line, to a parabolic trajectory, is it possible using the math functions already built into Project Spark? When you say parabolic trajectory, what do you mean by that? Like it has some, it could aim off to the right or to the left or have a little bit of inaccuracy? Is that what you mean? Because that's entirely possible. That's even built into some of the basic brains in Project Spark. An arc. Oh, like it's affected by gravity? Theoretically. If we go into like the shooting brain, so if we did combat, shoot, and then let's pick like arrow. Shoot, arrow, with gravity. There you go. A ranged projectile which will curve towards the ground. And I'm assuming that the speed and the launch strong, launch weak would affect its. I'm trying to think of the words here. Like how much it flies and falls and stuff like that. Alright, so let's get back to the sentry. We're going to make this gear spinning because it would look much cooler that way. So we're just going to make it pitch, I believe. We're going to make it pitch slowly. And then we're going to add, let's see, we have to add the base to this thing now. So let's actually grab the helmet, if I'm thinking about this right. The Astro Marine's helmet. This thing looks cool. Using props in unusual ways is one of my favorite things to do. That's too big. Hopefully that answered your question, Crazy Bird. Let's turn it white. Turn this red. Turn off snap and then move it forward a bit. This is what we're gonna be mounting our actual rotating turret on top of. So this is all going to be stationary, and then the rotating turret piece is going to be on top of it. So I'm actually going to throw in a logic cube in there to have the center of it. Scale this down a long ways. And the center of it is going to be right. Yeah, that looks right. Everything is going to attach to that. There. The rotating gear is going to attach to it, and our helmet's going to attach to it. Okay, now comes the fun part. We have the rotating turret on top. So let's search Astro, see if I can find a good prop that I want for the rotating turret. Actually, the Marine backpack's not bad. Let's run with the Marine grenade. I know that's what spawned this thing. But hey, it looks like a pretty good prop. And then let's mount it like kind of a little bit inside the helmet. Actually, let's build this to the side. Let me tweak the physics of it so that it's fixed. Change the brain of it. And change the color of it to more of a blue metal. Not that blue though. More like that. Like that. And the button, we're going to make the button white. There we go. Okay. Now, which direction is... Okay, that's forward. So then let's grab... Pole? Is that the prop? No. Post? Here we go. That's kind of too thick, or too skinny. How about this? This could be a turret, couldn't it? No, that's not the right shape. Now comes the fun part of looking through the props until I find the prop that I decide will work. Because we're going to be looking for a barrel. I don't want a weird one, but I want one that just simply looks good. Once again, if you have any questions about anything related to Terminal Island or not, be quick to ask in the comments. We'll see if I can answer them. Man, the dungeon pack. This is a pack I need to play with more. That's an awesome pack. I just haven't had much time or a project that's appropriate to work on it. Oh, maybe I should use a barrel from a gun. Maybe that would work. Let's see. So, asking about sentries, Crazy Bird asks, talking about sentries, which is a mechanical at animating it, giving a spider-like walk, hardcore coding. Yes, I'm not going to make these things move. They're going to be stationary sentries with a rotating top. So they'll track your movements when you get near. But yeah, if you wanted to make the spider-like movement, you'd have to do that with some pretty complex code. Or try to find an animal to attach the props to. And see if you can get it to kind of work right that way. Okay, make a white barrel. Attach this to this. Now comes the fun part of lining them up correctly. Okay. Like that. There we go. So here's our barrel. Rotates. That looks actually really good. What do you mean will I use, like, where would I be using ray casting, Crazy Bird? It's the kind of thing that I could use, but I don't really ever use it that much. I don't know why. Probably just haven't played around with it enough yet. But, let's attach this to my logic cube. And mount this on the top, right where I want it. And then let's spin it around to see if it looks decent. That looks pretty decent. The more that helmet's there, the less I like it. So I might remove that helmet prop. Yep, let's get rid of the helmet. Let's find something else to fit there. Usually I just use detect or see. In this case, the turrets are going to be kind of omni-aware because of how they're linked to the... So they're going to track the player even if the player... And kind of the easy answer, but it's the one that I'm running with, so... What should I go with? I use that prop way too often, not gonna lie. What else should I use? Power cell. Let's see if this looks decent, because power cells look cool. Shrink it down a bit. Rotate it. That's not that bad. Let's recolor it now. Alright, Nick. I'm not going to be animating the sentry. He said he had his stream paused. I'm not going to be animating the sentry just because that's going to take a lot of work. And frankly, at this stage in Terminal Island, I don't have time for a lot of work. I have time to get this out as soon as I reasonably can. Because this project has been going on since March. It needs to get out soon. So I won't be animating the sentry. I will be more. It'll spawn from a grenade, and then work in place. And yes, Nick, I have used the connect feature. If we were to, let's delete this guy. If we were to play the game, I'll show you a very quick implementation of the connect feature. I'm going to move my mic a bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, this is something cool I added. You can play as male or female, and you can pick what type. Like, they all look a little bit different. And you can preview them with or without their masks on, because in the settings now, you can turn their mask off. So let's do the male geared up. Just going to grab some equipment, and I'm going to cheat to make this quick. Pick up some resources. Man, you can barely even see his backpack. And I'm going to be crafting the axe. So after the axe is crafted, you can go up to these resources, and right here is a connect animation. He leans forward and he kind of gathers, I guess. That's the extent that I'm going to be going into connect probably in this game. I have gone into it in more depth than other games. It's a pretty cool feature. So that's definitely probably one of the best things the Xbox has over Windows, though I think you might be able to connect to a Windows, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Use the connect feature, and that's what it. Back to our sentry. So this is our sentry. It's all connected to except the power core. Probably want to connect that. Do you guys think the power core looks good? I think it could look good. I also think it might look really silly, but let's connect that here. Hi, Kane Han. That person just said hi in the comments. The reason I have the logic cube located there is so that when this thing's created, its legs will actually be embedded in the ground just a fuzz, and that'll make it look more seated in the world. So now comes the fun part of coding this thing. So let's just code this. And we're going to make logic cube first. So the logic cube, we're going to make this have the team assigned to it. So once team equals, let's put team 2. Let me take a look at the comments really quickly. Are you going to have the grenades roll towards the player like the droids in Star Wars? They roll to do is I was just going to have like a cannon mounted on this thing, and it would just fire the grenades toward the player. And as soon as they hit the ground, then these sentries would pop up and start shooting. But that'd be cool. Yes, Kane. Kane is asking you should stream on Twitch, but I guess there is a reason you can't. Twitch was not cooperating. Simple as that. I tried 3 or 4 times earlier to stream on Twitch, and I kept getting errors. Like, you're saying that my internet was too slow, and I ran a speed test, and I was doing like 45 megabytes a second. So, there's no way that my internet was too slow. Anyways, I decided to go with YouTube streaming since it's possible, but yeah, Twitch streaming it just wasn't cooperating for me. So let's code, let's see, team equals 2 when objects closer than, let's have like a 30 range. That's a pretty decent range, but it's enough that the player can get away from them. When 30, I want it says global, my player. Then my enemy equals it. There we go. And I honestly don't know if this is necessary, but I'm just going to put this in place just to be 100% like stable So when it's farther than 30, my enemy equals nothing. So it removes the player from being an object variable if it gets far enough away. That would be cool, Nick. Having a door open and it deploys the sentries, that would look super cool. And that is something I might experiment with too, seeing if I can get that to work. I might do that at first, and then later have these things launched by cannons. We'll see. So, yeah, so it now establishes a target, and then let's define this thing's health. So, once, let's do max health equals, let's make, you know, with the better guns and knives in the game, that it actually heals to that point. It should, but we'll see. Alright, and hello Transformers Ops. Just want to mention, if you guys have any questions, either about Terminal Island or about anything Project Spark related, please fire them in the comments. I'll try to see if I can answer them. On right now, I'm working on this cool little sentry thing, which is going to be deployed by this little grenade here from this huge building, because this huge building, long story short, is my final boss. So we're working on making these sentries right now. So we've got that in place. So this thing has a health bar and it has an enemy. So now let's code the sentry so that this thing will spin around and target the player. So let's see, really quick, we're going to have this thing's my enemy equal to owners my enemy. Okay, so when my enemy, we're going to, let's do Y slowly toward it. Actually, let's do it quickly. And now we're going to have the shooting, and I want to comments really quickly. DGE Kevin asks, when is for free expansions coming to anyone? I know you, but I can't remember. It is coming. Said that they're rolling it out, so some people have it, some people don't. Looks like question really quickly on PC. I'm gonna take a look to see if Project Spark is updated. Let me go to the Xbox store really quick, or just the store, whatever you want to call it. Give me just a second, guys. Store. There we go. I'm really enjoying Windows 10. That's what I'm working right now. If you guys don't have Windows 10 on your Windows 8 laptops, this thing's awesome. If a little buggy at times, but the nature of new software. Let's see, they have one. Okay. Take a look in the store. Oh, it says just show going. Oh yes, look at that. Spark on PC. So Windows 10 on PC. short, I got Windows 8 laptop knowing that Windows 10 was coming soon because I hated Windows. Windows 10 fixes most of those problems. Okay, so it looks like that update finished. Let's try opening it and see what happens. Doesn't see anything on the stream. Something. I don't know. Anyway, so it'll be yawing quickly towards it. Then, let's see. So when, and I'm just going to grab a Boolean variable I've already made. So when air purify equals true, it's going to combat shoot. Oh my goodness, the market's gone. Shows that I'm level 39 with any props that. Yeah, I bet that means that there's probably. So because it's a nation. All right, so let's pick out a projectile. Let's search projectile. Bird, glad to hear that you just it's cool and it surprises me. So thank you very much for your feedback on that. We're gonna be shooting this laser cannon. Shoot laser cannon at my enemy. At speed. We're gonna make this pretty quick, so let's do 40. At speed 40. Launch frequency. Let's do like a 1.5-second burst and then a 1.5-second delay. So let's do 5 projectiles in that time. So let's do like. Nick asks, I don't program, and actually, I'm at work right now. I work at a local cell phone company, meaning when people have problems with their iPhones, their Androids, their HTCs, their Samsungs, their whatever it is, they give us a call to, a lot of the times it's pretty simple. Sometimes it's problems that we bang our head against our desk because we can't figure out. Nice place. Nice. DGE7. Let's see if there's anything else I need to worry about. Okay. Actually, allowing friendly fire, that'd be kind of the nature of this boss fight. So we're going to allow friendly fire with this. Alright, so Transformer Black Ops update, I don't know. That would be very cool. Quite a bit. So now we're going to have countdown timer of 1.5 loop, and this is going to toggle air purify. Toggle it. There we go. Pretty much as simple as that, we've built our sentry. So I'm just going to take this sentry and move it near, copy it, and move it near my spawn, and then we'll see if it works. We'll see what goes wrong. Something always goes wrong. This never goes this simply. Never, ever, ever goes this simply. So we'll see what goes wrong. There we go. I think it looks pretty cool, though. Okay, grab our stuff, skip the tutorial, And let's run over to this sentry and see what happens. So, oh, jeez! Maybe I'll change that projectile, because that's terrifying. Okay, it does recognize the turret as an enemy, because I have a little red arrow over it when I ADS. Oh, it can shoot up, but I don't think the barrel will tilt up. It just shoots up. Oh! Alright, maybe I need to turn down how much damage it does. And maybe it's fire rate. That was a little crazy there. Granted, late game, you're going to have some hardcore shields, which give you a ton of extra health. But, let's see if we can get this fixed. So I'm going to delete this version of it and fix the main one. And then I'll copy and paste it and bring it back, because there's no point to code it when there's two of them. So let's go into here. We're going to change the projectile to something smaller and a little bit less terrifying, because that scared the crap out of me. Let's do laser rifle projectile. That's smaller. Let's do a launch frequency of 2. Or let's just do 2.5. And as the speed, let's do 35 on that. And the damage, let's do like 15. Burst, this would probably kill you, but it might not as well. Oh, I left it on the island. Oh well, we'll just cheat and go to it. Developer tool. Thank you very much, DGE Kevin, who says looks awesome so far. Grab some resources. Buy some resources. Open up some doors. Little cheater developer blocks there. Let's teleport straight to the epicenter. Hi, Ender Style. Just chat. There we go. So here's our bunker little thing. This protects us between us and the building. Man, this thing's huge. This is going to be one awesome boss fight. So here's our sentry over here, which is actually small enough that the whole thing doesn't pop in right away. That's a lot more manageable. Ow! Okay, so it killed me very quickly. I'm going to take just a tiny bit more time to see if this thing is quite as ridiculous to fight when you get a good gun and a good shield. So, you guys are going to get to see some of the colony in action. Yes, the dragon does look amazing in Project Spark. I forgot to look at... Let's see, dragon. On my PC, which is updated, where's dragon? Dog-billed bird? What the heck is that? Dragon! Yes! You? Oh my gosh, it looks awesome! Oh, it's huge! Like, seriously, I have it standing in front of a wolf. It's the length of 10 wolves, easily. Alright, so here I'm at the colony. Darn it, now I want to go play on my PC. Yeah, it would look cool if I walked into the portal. I have thought about that. We'll see if I get to it. Repair some generators. First, we're going to crank out a pretty hardcore shield. Use the random shield generator. Terrible shield. But has hardcore health regen, so that's cool. Because I like the shield, I'm going to use my shield saving device. There we go. So I just saved my shield here, so if I want to get it later, I can. Let's pick up this one, which has 86 capacity. Nah. I would rather just craft a specialized shield. When you craft these specialized shields, you can pick them up again anytime you want. And this one's called the Isolated Savior. Long story short, when your shield depletes, it sends out a little robot buddy to help you. Alright guys, I think you will enjoy what I'm about to show you here. So you can craft a gun, and it says can be upgraded in the mechanic shop in the colony, which we're standing in. So if we equip the gun, it looks kind of short and stubby and boring, right? But if we go on over here, we can upgrade it a lot. We can upgrade the stock, which increases our accuracy. We can upgrade it to a laser action, which increases damage and reduces reload time. We can upgrade the scope, which increases rate of fire. Don't ask why. Just accept that it does. We can purchase a clip, which increases our clip size from 20 to 30. We can purchase the barrel, increases range before shots disappear. So let's just buy them all. Now our gun looks super cool, right? Right? If you say no, you're wrong. Simple as that. Anyways, let's get back to the island. I hope you guys enjoy that. You are also able to do that with an intermediate gun, because there's 3 guns you can purchase, and one of them you can purchase like midway through, and you can upgrade it later. So let's go back to the epicenter. Alright, now that we're back here, let's pull out our gun, and let's go deal with that sentry. I bet this is going to go fast. It's part of the point of all these special... Ow! What? Okay, that's really different. Apparently the hit reactions with a gun, you just freeze. So actually I'm going to let my shield deplete, and it sends out my robot. And my robot's not doing anything, but... Okay. Now you can upgrade yourself so you don't have hit reactions, which, wow, that's going to be really necessary. Wait till the burst is over. Well, this isn't working at all as I expected. As I've said, nothing goes as easy as it should. I don't know why the rest of the unit, the sentry, isn't registered. Oh, I've got a message from someone. Take a look at that on my phone. He says, "Cool stream," he says, as he interrupted the stream with a message. I wonder if I can just hit it melee-wise, or if the whole thing isn't responding right. Because I would have... my mask is worn off. I don't have any mask or mask reserve, so the world's all blurry now. I thought that if everything was attached to the... to that logic cube, and then the logic cube had like a player and a health bar and stuff, that would also transfer to the attachments, but it seems like it hasn't. Man, these sentries are killer. Come on, I just want to friggin... Well, I'm gonna have to take a look at this. Look at some more. Luke Jones says, "Hi, shout out." You got your shout out, Luke Jones. Let's see what may be causing this. I wonder if I have to make it all like one prop and then attach it to my logic cube. Let's try that, but I'm gonna make a copy of it first before I do that, and hide the copy. Or not hide it, just put it out of the way. Dang it. Sometimes I push B instead of pushing trigger and it messes it up. Put this over here. Trigger. There. Let's do multi-edit. Let's do the power core, the gear, 1 leg, 2 legs, 3 legs. And we're going to make them all one object. There we go. I kind of have to leave this attached rather than make it one part, because, you know, that's the way it just needs to work. Simple as that. Okay. Do I need to make this a player, like a character physics? I don't know. Let's try tweaking this so it doesn't shoot at me. Ignore line. Because sometimes I just need to test to see whether I can hurt it, not whether it can hurt me. Because we've definitely established it can hurt me. And I might actually have an attack without hit reactions, because that's pretty brutal. Though on the other hand, you can upgrade yourself so you don't have hit reactions, so we'll see. Thank you, Luke Jones. He says, love your videos, so I'm glad that he does. Once again, I'll just say this again. If you've been watching the stream for a while, you've probably heard this several times by now. But if you have any questions, if you have anything that you want to ask either about Project Spark or about Terminal Island, be quick to leave a comment in the stream and I'll get to it. Okay, so it's not taking any damage whatsoever. That's good to know. The sentry actually follows me about perfect. I like how that looks. Okay. We'll see. Some other things I need to get done today. Let's just try taking the easy route and making this a... Oh, that's why. Collidable on. Is that all? No, that shouldn't be it. Let's make this a character as well. See if that fixes it. Nick says, if you aren't fully upgraded, you probably shouldn't be able to beat the final boss anyways. Yeah, that is true. There are some things that you are going to need to get before you can attack the final boss. There's some upgrades I added which are optional, and upgrading your hit reactions is a little bit more optional because they're fairly expensive and they don't do a lot inherently. They just reduce your hit reactions. So, let's see. That's a no. Alright, guys. People watching my video, tell me what I'm doing wrong here, because I'm going brain dead, apparently. I don't know why he's not taking damage like he should be. Maybe since I attached it all to a logic cube, I can't attach them. Let me try playing. Let me know. Some Project Spark things I just don't figure out for a while, and I have to just think about and figure out later. That's why I have kind of a weird development style. Like, a lot of things are half done because I just get kind of stuck on them and move on. And then I come up with solutions for them later. I'm actually going to copy this page and then delete that logic cube. Paste page. And then attach this to this. The idea here is that there's not a logic cube, there's only the base that we're attaching this to. Now, one problem is it does that. So this isn't a long-term solution. When I just press left trigger, it just like sinks into the ground, which is why I had that logic cube, so it stayed nice and neat with the legs barely submerged into the ground. Crazy Bird asks, Terminal Island will be part of a collection of other maps like a campaign. There will be one other world that I'm going to escape to, but that isn't the end of the game, and there's not going to be a ton to do in that world. It's just, mostly I'm adding it so that you can save your game progress, because I'm pretty sure you need another world to save your game progress in. Okay, let's try attacking it now. Why isn't it working? This is just getting weird. It's picking up the properties of logic cube. I always use see-through square primitive. Let's make sure that this thing isn't invincible, because sometimes these things are. If I'm saying that right. Let's just make sure that invulnerable equals false. There we go. This works. Okay. Here we go. There we go. That's all it took. It's always the simple things. Now, would take a lot of beating to kill it just with my bare fists. That's why you need knives and stuff. Okay, so let's go back to let's go back to our original one and see if just adding that line of code fixes it. Enderstyle asks, I'm just Yes, there's a lot new. If you haven't updated it in a while, obviously there's been some new packs. The most recent update, the one that you're probably updating right now, unlocks everything for free. Yes, every single content pack is going to be available for free to everyone. I overshot my island. Is this the one where I glued everything together? Yep, don't want that one. That's why I made a copy and put him over here. So all the content packs are going to be free to everyone. There's no more money. There's nothing like that. There's no tokens. And I've heard from some people that if you've purchased your packs recently, then then you can get a refund. But I haven't gotten verification of that. So until I hear that from Project Spark clearly, I'm going to go with you're probably not going to get your money back. Let's make this thing invulnerable equals false. Okay. And then let's copy one of these and take it near my spawn. They're also adding dragons Ender style. Is that right, Nick? You can get from July 28th, you can get a refund. Do you have any sort of like link or source on that just so we can verify that's true? Because I haven't seen anything on that, and I've been trying to keep as close of eye on Project Spark news as possible. Obviously, it's kind of my thing. You know what, just for fun, the update anyways. Does it say that on Project Spark? Man, I feel stupid if I missed that. Whatever. Okay, so there's our sentry. And I think, he is armed. So mostly I'll be just seeing, can I do damage, not can I kill him. Ow. Ow. Okay, so I don't know if I can or not. We'll find out. I feel like I'm getting spawn camped a little bit. Run! Alright, I'm gonna... Let's see. Okay, so that's a no. I can't damage this one, which is interesting. Wow. Let me take a look at that link that Nick just put. Copy. Spark.com. It gave me an error when I tried to use it. And I did put projectspark.com in front of it. Don't I put like .net or something? No, it is .com. Huh. That didn't work for me, man. Sorry. I'll check it out, though. Crazy Bird. Does Project Spark update automatically? If it does not, how to do it. If you're actively playing it like I am, it won't update. Usually, sometimes it'll force you to update. If you have your Xbox turned off and you don't have Windows 10 installed on your Xbox, it'll update automatically in the background, probably. If you're on PC, you may have to go to the store and download it that way. That's how I got it. So I have the next Project Spark update on my PC. And oh my gosh, the dragon! Oh, the dragon! Oh, this thing's pretty. Very pretty. So, yes, I'm gonna take a, yeah. I want to just stop the stream and go play with my new dragon, because dragons are awesome. Yeah, let's just go to the Project Spark webpage. Home. And then what? Get all the facts. Let's click on all the facts. Free incubation engine. Here we go. In the light of these changes to a fully free model, all players who have purchased Project Spark digital content on or after July 28th, 2015, purchased a retail disc and activated it by product redemption key on or after July 28th, 2015, or have a remainder balance purchased in-game tokens will be entitled to a Windows Store credit of the equivalent money spent. Windows Store credits will be awarded automatically to all users within 30 to 60 days after October 5th. If you have any additional concerns, we have a full frequently asked questions on the refund process. Cool. So I probably got about $10 of refund coming roughly, because that's how much 1,000 credits is, if I remember correctly. Okay. Sweet. So there are probably going to be some refunds issued. That's nice. That's nice. Good for Project Spark. That makes me a lot happier. Let's see if there's anything else worth mentioning. Not that I already haven't mentioned, so. Give me just a second. Cool. They're changing the rating system too, so it's less about upvotes and downvotes and more about how many downloads it gets and how many favorites it gets. So I really hope that that Terminal Island gets a lot of downloads and views and stuff, simply for the fact that I've put upwards of 300 to 400 hours into this game. You may be asking, how have you put so many hours into that game? And I could just show you a few of my brains, and you would kind of get the gist of things. So this is my player brain. It's 12 pages. This is page 1. Maybe this isn't the most clean development ever. I know that there's probably some code I could go through here, clean up, tighten up, make a little bit more better. But a lot of this is actually really necessary. That's page 1. Here's page... technically that's page 2. Here's 3. Page 4. You get the gist. There's a lot more pages of this too. So, there's a lot going on in this world. It's definitely the biggest project I've ever undertaken. Not to mention how many hours I've spent pulling my hair out over optimizing this world so that it runs at pretty much full speed. Because I've definitely taken a concept that Project Spark can't handle in this scale and optimized it to the point where Project Spark can't handle it. So, that's why it's taken me so long. Anyway, let's get back to the sentry and why it's not freaking working. So, it's not dying when I attack it. Let's go tamper with the one that's near my spawn so I can quickly figure out why. The other one, I removed the logic cube and whatnot, but maybe I need to make this one the physics on. Let's try that. Let's see if this works. Probably in a minute here, I will quit Project Spark and then reopen it and see an upload for me. See if I get lucky. Start game, play as mail. Let's do the Titan Industries. Got an achievement, certified platinum. Oh, that achievement's a new one, so I may have the update. So, alright, it's shooting at me. Wait for another burst. Ow. I'll wait for the next burst. And then, nothing. Darn. Whatever. Let's see if I have the update now. He was crossing our fingers hoping I have the update. Because if I do, then I'll stop developing Terminal Island for a minute and we'll go over the new changes. Man, that's something I've wanted since it makes every game better. Dragons. So let's save this thing. Sometimes the saving process can take a while. Is there anything that you guys would like to see if this update has if this update has gone into effect? Anything you guys would like to see? If so, leave a comment on the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and just quit the game. And then reopen it. So has anyone here signed up for the Windows, for the Xbox experience? Windows 10 on Xbox One. Has anyone else signed up for that? And I can't disagree with when they announced the primitives. I was like, man, I'm going to see if I can build some cities with that. After I finish Terminal, I have another project in my head that I'm working on that I'm not going to say anything about, but let's just say cities would be necessary. Let's see if it went. I may have heard that it wouldn't be a traditional update. It needs to update and it downloads for a while. Like, it may just be a change and on the servers, and then it tweaks what we have on our end. So I guess we're gonna. Nope, we still have create and we still have marketplace. Darn. That's unfortunate. Unable to connect to services. I am online. Yeah, I'm online. Freaking Project Spark being whiny again. I'm actually gonna go to a different world to see really quickly what's going on. I think was a new one. But oh look, it's my guy from the sheeting tutorial. If you guys haven't seen that one, it's worth checking out. It's how to sheathe and unsheathe weapons. No, Crazy Bird, I have not heard about NASA using Project Spark. If you could enlighten us as to what that's about, I would be definitely interested. Let's see. There's, yeah, still have some characters I haven't purchased, though. That's interesting. It's acting like there's another character because these two used to be flush, and now they're not. If you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry about it. But let's just search primitives. Okay, so we have all the normal primitives. Yeah, that's it. All right, so nothing's changed yet, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I was planning a video on like what are the best DLCs. So I was just doing little showcases on all the DLCs and how much they cost. And then they announced everything was going free. So I felt like there was no need to continue with this project. Okay, well, if that hasn't happened, then I'm going to go back to developing Project Spark. I hit the wrong button, of course. Exit without saving. There we go. Terminal Island. 5 months ago. Yeah, that's not even when I started. That was just when I first got my computer. Edit. Alright, so Crazy Bird says, basically they were gathering some age 8 to 18. Yeah, I heard about that. Of some sort and choose from the best one. I did hear about that. I didn't really. So Okay. Let's see if we can get this sucker working right so I can attack it. If I was to copy the invulnerability code from here and throw it at my sentry, what would happen? Alright, let's see if this works. Crazy Bird says, but I was wondering, and we don't know what he's wondering about yet, so. Nothing. Man, the sentry really doesn't kid around. Crazy Bird asks, would it be nice to have more like these, as in good project sparks made by the community? As in, like, huge games designed on a massive scale that kind of push the boundaries of Project Spark, like those kind of games? In my opinion, yes. This should be, like, anyone who's good at Project Spark should be working on this. Like, yeah. If you're able to handle this kind of scale, then you should be working on this. Not recreating Pac-Man. I mean, obviously, you can do what you want. But I feel like this is a lot more creative, and you learn a lot more this way than if you just like recreate Pac-Man or minigame or something like that. Of course, that's just my opinion. Alright, so that didn't help. Don't know why this isn't cooperating. It's getting a little bit frustrating at this point. So I'm going to try attaching all these to each other again. So I'm going to put the legs and the gear and the power core, glue objects, and then unattach the logic cube from the head. I'm going to copy page and then delete page from my logic cube, put it in the body, paste page, but I'm still going to, let's try attaching the body to the logic cube and then this to the logic cube. This may not work, but I guess we'll find out. So I don't know how to say your name. Kian, Kian, K-I-A-N, Weimer, says you should try using something you don't have unlocked and see if it lets you use it. So we'll try that here in a second. We'll see if this works. Okay. That's interesting. It's not even targeting me. And I can't hurt it. I feel like I'm doing more damage than good here right now. Maybe... I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna try placing an object that I don't have unlocked to see if I can use it. Go to here. Let's grab the troll. Waiting for Project Spark service. Hours to update in all regions. Yeah, I have to, so I don't have it yet. But I don't expect to get it immediately anyways, so. Well, I have some other things I need to work on besides this sentry, so I'm probably going to have to end the stream. Sorry I didn't get this sentry done, but we did get this building built, and it's a pretty cool looking building. In case you weren't here earlier, this building is my final boss, and that core is the thing that you're going to have to be attacking, and you're going to have a limited time to access it, because usually this door is going to be closed, and you're going to have to do some tasks to get that door to open, then you're going to attack that core, and then it will close again, and so on. And eventually, Once you break that core down, it'll reveal something, the last piece you need to get your ship going. This door will open, and you will be able to go inside and collect your thingy. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, but I'll leave it open for a few more minutes, just so if anyone has any more questions or anything like that, they can ask. I actually really haven't done much live streaming before. Didn't know if it would go well, but hey, I've gotten a handful of views and a lot of comments, so I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Is there anything else that you guys want to know about or have any questions or something like that? Just curious. I'm going to show you guys something really quick that I'm proud of, even though nobody will probably care that much. I have built settings into this game. So, let me get through this. If you pause the game, you have a few options, one of which is obviously settings. And this one, it has toggle tooltips, which are in the top right corner, on and off. Display button prompts, that's turned off by default, but you can turn it on. So when you go near something interactable, it shows you the button. I thought it'd be a little bit more immersive to not have that turned on by default, but you can if you want. Display objectives. That shows like story objectives a little bit later on. Show HUD and meters. You can turn that off for like hardcore mode. Display story mode. Oh, display objectives. Oh, that's something else. Never mind. And display mask on player. We can turn that off, and even when he has a mask, it won't display it. Sometimes I've seen later in the game the mask kind of gets like shifted or looks wonky, so I have that able to turn off, just in case it looks weird and people don't like it. So. Anyways, let me take a look at the comments. Okay, so DG Kevin asks, how did you start Project Spark? I have trouble programming in Project Spark. I started as soon as I heard the trailer at E3 2013. Actually, my cousin sent me a link to the trailer. And at that time, I was like hardcore into Minecraft. I owned my own server. I had my own fan base in that server, sort of. I mean, I had enough people in the server that it paid for itself. I seriously probably logged upwards of 1,000 hours into Minecraft. I really liked it. Really into it. He sent me Project Spark because he's like, hey, you're into building games. How do you think you'd like this? So I saw the trailer, waited until they opened up beta sign up. I signed up for the beta right away. And as soon as I was able to, hopped in the beta, and I just started making games as fast as I could. I might actually have a few of my older games still on this thing, on this Xbox. But the games I first started making, honestly, I figured everything out myself. I probably watched the Grand Theft 5 tutorial videos and the entirety of my Project Spark time, just because I figured things out myself. And it took a lot of time, no question. If you go look at my Xbox profile, you will see, whether it's good or bad, I've logged, whatever, I'll just exit. Or I'll save and then exit. I've logged upwards of 1,500 hours into this game. Whether that's good or bad is up to you. But I've logged a lot of time into it. I figured everything out on my own. So, that's pretty much how I got started. I guess I'm good at troubleshooting and figuring things out. I mean, my job is troubleshooting. I have a knack for it. And I don't know. I just kind of figured it out. It's if you have my tutorials, you already are better than where I started. Where I started, there were no tutorials. Simple as that. And there weren't any tutorials at all. This is an old project, but this is like a really popular project that I had. There weren't any tutorials. I wasn't making tutorials. I wasn't making tutorials. Tutorials you found people had posted the forums, so someone needs to fix this problem. Okay, so this is an old world I made, which, wow, I've gotten a lot better at my art styles since then. Long story short, pretty much every button is mapped to some sort of attack, and those attacks are way over the top and awesome. So let's see. Right trigger just shoots an attack. What does Y do? Oh, Y does this cool attack. You like fly away, and then you slam them on really hard. Let's see. X. I don't know what... Oh, X lets me jump super high or something like that. What does B do? B does nothing. Okay. Maybe B's not charged. A lets me jump. And I have a lot of jumps, actually. Oh, and if I click right stick, I can heal myself. Left stick, oh, I go into like this knifing frenzy and I'm invincible for a little bit. So that's different. Then, what else do I have? Right bumper shoots a stream of missiles. I did a tutorial on how to do that. Left bumper does... Oh, that just lets me sprint. Let's do X again, because I can jump really high with X. Oh, here was like a bit of a boss fight. So yeah, this was an old world that I worked on and actually got really popular because nobody really had an interesting combat world back in this day and age. This was maybe a month after the game came out. So most of the combat was just press X for this, press Y to do this. Anyways, there's a thingy up there I'm going to try getting. Go off that ramp. Totally miss. Whatever. What else was there? Oh, I think in this particular build of the game, I might have had a nuke. Oh, I did. Gear, 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 gear. Yeah. Let me kill these guys really quick. And... there. Building complete. Enjoy your nuke. So, yeah, I built a nuke, and I was pretty happy with it. So, if you guys want to watch, I'm going to find some enemies. Oh, this was like a spawning thing I had over here. You could spawn more enemies in. I think I had a way that I could fly? I don't remember how, though. That wasn't it. Okay, so I can spawn some zombies nearby, spawn some goblins. Yeah. So that's how I got more enemies into the world. Let's try placing my nuke. Oh, I'm stuck. Let's try to get far enough away that we can see it. Oh, yeah! Oh yeah, and it left a big hole in the ground. So yeah, this was one of my older projects. I was very happy with this project. Because, well, it is actually pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Oh yeah, I had these overclocks that you could pick up and use them once. Like here's a missile overclock. No question overpowered, but here, let's use it. Pretty much it just gave me missiles nonstop for like 10 seconds. And it was awesome. So yeah, this is one of my older worlds. This one, I happened to buy 1 month of Project Spark Premium, and then I made this world on 1,500 downloads overnight. I made so much money from Paladron Valley. That's a really pretty world. What else? Yeah, this is just some old worlds that I had. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Let me see if there's any other questions. There will be a tutorial on that. It's not the easiest. It's very code heavy. Actually, I think in this project, I had some of that. If this is the one I'm thinking of. This cutscene took me so long to make. But yeah, in this game, I have characters who talk to each other, and it's very code heavy, but it's not too hard. See, that's how I did my text like that. Yeah, it's kind of broken. It's been a while since I worked on this world. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, so I like press what, Y? Yep, and then it changes where it's focusing to. So yeah, this is pretty much how you would have characters talk to each other. But yeah, that's a good point. This is something I should do a tutorial on at some point. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys found this interesting. If you have any questions, be sure to comment either on another video or you can message me on Xbox. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue working on Terminal Island. Obviously, I don't have an exact time frame to when that'll be done, but I'm hoping to have Terminal Island finished before the end of the year, which I know that's 2 months away still, but I'll be making a trailer and a release date here in the near-ish future. So, thank you guys for watching. This was more fun than I thought it'd be. I might have to do this more in the future. I will see you guys later.